Okay. Hip Hop United, All Access. We are here live today with the one and only Poe Dean from the Ruff Ryders. How you doing today? Welcome to Hip Hop United.
Good. What's going on, beloved? What's good?
I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, I'm in Atlanta. It's a nice day out. It's Saturday.
That's what's up.
Trying to enjoy this weather.
Far from you out here in Charlotte.
I'm very familiar because I'm from South Carolina, actually. So
that's where my parents, well, my father.
From South Carolina? Okay.
Charlotte.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm originally from Florence. So, and I have family in Charlotte too. So, like I said, it's funny when you travel from South Carolina to North Carolina, you don't even have to take the freeway. You can take like the back roads.
Exactly. It's that close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Well, again, I do appreciate you today for joining me on a check-in. I appreciate, Travis for setting this up. You're from the Ruff Ryders. You've had, experiences with the now late great DMX. Let's get into a little bit about just, your involvement with, the movement, the Ruff Ryders movement, and just your involvement with DMX.
Okay, so for starters, me and my brothers was in Baltimore. My brother wanted to come back and do the music. So he came back to New York, started doing the music. After a short period, he got up with X, and then everything was history as far as with the music. So when X did the first album, I wasn't there. The second album came, he needed somebody to do promotions and marketing, right? Because they got a bigger budget and it was getting ready to go down and it was getting real serious. So I start managing the studio. So I was in the studio for some sessions with DMX, all the artists, period, because I was managing the studio. And then it went in the studio to doing all the promotions nationally. So after maybe 6 years, 5 or 6 years, the music is popping, everything is going on. My brother got in an accident, my brother D. And when he got in an accident, the music slowed down. So, and then 50 came out. 50 Cent came out, and viral marketing was more bigger than the street promotions. Started doing everything viral because that's when the internet started kicking in and hit for street promotions. So I got out the game doing the promotions. I started my marketing company, catering to people like different businesses that wanted to get their clothing line out there. They wanted to get people out there, other artists, giving them a little advice, like consulting and stuff like that. So then after that, I was like, I already did videos and all that for Ruff Ryders. I did all the videos, assistant director. I was assistant director. So I was looking for something else. And I didn't really want to leave the music business because I got a passion for music. DMX's manager at the time, her name is Trish Lum. She gave me a call and said, you want to run around with X, and make sure he make his shows, because at that time, nobody really was listening to him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, he wasn't listening to nobody. Let me rephrase that. Because he wanted to go here, go there. And if you don't want to do it, he's shutting you down. You know what I'm saying? So he had a little more respect for me because, I come from the family, first of all. And we always was cool. He stayed at my crib and all that before he made a hit record. So that's how I got tied in with him. We started gelling. But, with his addiction and things that was going on in his life, it was hard to try to get him to do the right thing for a long time. So that's how I got in with X, so they know that I'm a point person. Like, if I say we're going to make a show, I'm going to do everything in my power to make the show. If he got to do an interview, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he get that interview, and so forth and so on. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't the guys that was hanging with him, that grew up with him, was happy because he hit him with a couple of dollars, because I already was eating. So it didn't matter to me. I just wanted him to do what's right.
Right, right. Talk to us about like what was it like, you know, after you made sure he, you know, got to where he needed to be on time, et cetera, et cetera. Just overall, what was it like working with him, just being in his presence?
It was kind of our experience, meaning like I work with all the other artists too, but when he comes in the room, his work ethic is different than everybody's. Like if he's going in to do a session, he could be drinking and doing whatever he got to do and partying and girls, whatever he doing, he could do that. But as soon as he step in that room, strictly business. I'm getting it done. He already know what he want to do. He's strategic about his moves. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing a song. If the engineer is not on point, he's gonna let the engineer know. He's straight about his business. That was really took from him his work ethic. You know, he was real about his business no matter what he did on the play side, on the side, on his downtime. When he got into that booth, he knew exactly how he wanted it to go. When he get on that stage, the same thing. He's official. Like he's one of them cats, like, you like always, you would expect him, like he ain't sleeping 3 days. You would expect him to be drowsy and dragging and your voice not sounding right. When you get in that booth, everything changes.
Now, let me ask you, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. The Ruff Ryders. You know, I've been hearing about the Ruff Ryders for a long time, ever since I was a kid, honestly. I've been hearing about the Ruff Ryders. I never really researched in depth what the Ruff Ryders, you know, movement is all about. But in your words, describe, you know, for the people who don't know what the Ruff Ryders are all about.
All right, so let me clear up one thing. Everybody get Ruff Ryders associated with like a motorcycle club because we got bikes in our team. Now, lifestyle consists of standard members, which is members like you and me that don't really probably ride a bike. There's riders that ride bikes. They're also our people that's running around from every genre. Like we got people, every color, nationality, there's no difference. We got a dog division, we got a car division, and a truck division. So these are all different people, different entities within the lifestyles. Now, Ruff Ryders was started with a name with my mother and my brother because they changed their name from another name. You know what I'm saying? Or something to that effect. So they wanted to change the name. And because we come from the streets and we was hood, so we was rough, and they was watching a cowboy movie, it was showing some black guys that was black cowboys. And the guys was the Ruff Ryders. So my mother liked the name, my brother co-signed it, and that's when he ran with it. Moving forward, Ruff Ryders started with the music first. Before anything, before bikes and all of that, it started with the music and with our crew. Everybody that was down with us, we brought in as a family to do the music, to be a part of the team. That's how I got started. Then it branched off into the music. It branched off into the motorcycles and all the other entities. That's in a nutshell, basically.
Okay, got you. What's your most memorable moment, though, you know, so far? Well, your most memorable moment with, you know, that you can remember with working with DMX?
Well, I got so many moments. I got a bald head, right? Because of DMX.
Okay.
So it's real talk. And everything I'm telling you is real. So I'm not just saying that like, you know, I'm just saying some other phony stuff. But we was in Germany and he was getting his hair cut. So I told the barber, I said, after you finish with him, I want you to tighten me up, you know, give me a shape up, whatever. So dog was like, come on, man. What are you doing? What you doing? What you saving your hair for? So in the middle of my head, in the back, like right in the middle, it's getting light right there. Like you can see my scalp. So that's what I'm referring to. Like, get rid of it.
Right.
So I'm like, so he's like, just get a bald head, man. You know, all the famous people in the world, the most famous people in the world got bald heads. So he shouts out Michael Jordan, and then he shouts himself out. You know, Michael Jordan got a bald head. I got a bald head. He said, get a bald head, man. Your head is round. It's going to look right. It's going to look right. So while he was getting his hair cut, I left out, start doing what I'm doing. But I'm contemplating in my mind, damn, should I get a bald head? So by the time he finished with him, I'm like, yo, come on, get it. Cut it off. So I got a bald head. I've been bald ever since. That's one of the memorable moments. But there's others, like when we was in Australia, and I told him about the kangaroos and the koala bears. We in the hotel, I'm like, let's go see the kangaroos. Let's go see the koala bears. We in Australia. Like, why are we not going to see the sights?
Mm-hmm.
All that, F that, whatever, you know. I leave to go get the flight straight, everything straight, so we can go to the next place in Australia. Mm-hmm. I come back to the hotel, they gone. Everybody in the hotel gone. Where they at? They went to the park to see the koala bears and the kangaroos. And I'm the one that's thought about going to see them. Mm-hmm. You know, so we had a little beef about that for about 2-3 nights. I'm like, man, that's not right. You ain't fair. You know, like, I'm the one that wanted to go see him, and I didn't get a chance to see him when I was over there. So, I mean, there's so many moments with X. I could talk about him all day. Beautiful guy, beautiful spirit, beautiful heart, giving person. He always was the kind of guy like, you don't have to ask him. He knows something wrong. Like, you ain't got to say something to him if you got a problem. He'll look at you, what's going on with you, and look the same today. You know, and I probably wouldn't tell him anyway, because I'm the type of person to go to people and try to give them all my problems. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you could tell that he know. So we always kept a different, like a level of respect, and we always kept it business and kept it love. Mm-hmm. You know, I know he loved Waffle House. You know, he used to love his eggs. He used to love the grilled chicken. You know, whenever we go east, he like his now latest, some borders we gotta bring. You gotta bring the beef jerkies. That's what he used to rock. That's what he was eating when I was with him.
Okay. You know, did you okay, so you said when you were with him, of course, you know, like he struggled with some obstacles with, like the drug addiction and that type of stuff, depression, being locked up. Were you there during those times?
Yes.
Okay. When you say he could tell if something was going on with you or whoever that was around him, if you were having a bad day, or he could sense something was going on. Did you ever have that same reciprocation with him, like being that he was going through some things? Did you ever sense that with him?
Yeah, of course, many a times. X was always how can I put it? He was always in turmoil. That's what I could say. He was in turmoil all the time. But it was almost like he was bipolar. His actions, like he was fighting and struggling with it. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes he's in a happy moment, and then he could flip right into a negative or mad or sad moment within that same moment. Like instantly, it would change. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he want to be bothered. Sometimes he want to be to himself. We said give him his space, because like me, if I'm upset, I know how I feel, or I feel like I'm going through something, I need a minute to gather myself, and I'm not going to be the most positive person if you keep trying to get me to do stuff. So I used to try to work around the stuff that he was going through. So I knew it, and I talked to him. We had a bunch of heart-to-hearts. I'm talking about in his lowest moments. I was blessed because he had a little respect for me as a person, that's trying to help him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because he would never do stuff around me. Because, first of all, he knew I wasn't gonna have it. And right. I had to who that was trying to help him get this stuff and all that, I had to put the pressure on them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He already knew, you know, like he was like, I can't do nothing. He can't see none of this. I see the after effects. I see when I got to run up on him, when he, but he never would like feel comfortable in front of me because he know how I feel. And my love is different than the other guys because, and I can't say how much love they have for him or not because I can't speak for nobody else. But the type I have for him is for him to be good, for him to be all right, for him to win, for him not to miss a show, for him to make it life. You know, like I want him to see him with his kids and raise them up at some point and do all the things that they need to do. So everything I did was on some, come on, man, we got to get this done, baby. Let's go. Come on. Nah, that ain't, look right there, baby. Let's get it. You know what I mean? So trying to coach him and also trying to console him and try to help him. And we cried together before, you know what I'm saying? And it's nothing, it ain't nothing to be proud about. I'm not trying to poke my chest out or all the stuff I did with him. I'm just trying to tell people, if you got people that you love, you got to be there for them, man. I feel bad. I didn't get a chance to get him to see the other side. I didn't get a chance to convert him. You know, he was spiritually good.
Yeah, he could pray like none other. Like he could pray like he was a minister, honestly. And Swiss made the comment, you know, a couple of weeks ago, saying that, you know, basically he needed, you know, he needed that support system, and it seems as if he didn't have the support system that he needed, you know. But then on the flip side, it seems like there were people, you know, in his corner as well. So, you know, what are your thoughts on what Swiss was talking about?
Well, I think he was addressing the fact that, like when we was at the memorial, a lot of people was there to show support. All of the riders, it's almost like 8,000 bikes came out to show support. It was inside the building that was there to show their respects for X. So it's a team effort, you know, like us working with him on the road, trying to get him to do right, do good, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But then you gotta have your family, you gotta have friends, you gotta get everybody, you gotta pull together and do it at the same time to keep it off, keep the monkey off his back, you know what I'm saying? Because right on your back as soon as you walk away, you know, so it's more like a joint effort from everybody. And it wasn't like that because a lot of the friends wanted to do it, but they also wanted to be his friend, and they know they couldn't be around him or be his friend, and they was trying to press him to not do what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, sometimes you got to give people tough love, regardless about the money, about the fame and all that. That tough love is important because that make them see that, you know what, I ain't gonna get away with this, or I ain't got the opportunity to get it. And then some of these people out here that's trying to get in and make money, you know, they should have looked at him bigger than the check or a dollar. They should look, you know what? That's the dog right there, man. What he does affects millions of people. I don't want to see him die. I had an incident, I had to run in the house and catch a cat. And I tried to explain to him, I said, listen, man, do you know who you're dealing with right here? He's like, yeah, X, man, it's DMX. You know, he proud, poking his chest out. I said, yo, you want to kill him? You want to kill him? Because that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you try to keep making money off of him, all you're doing is pushing him to kill him. So I had them type of arguments. I had beefs with cats. I had some cats that was hanging around him that I had to argue and beef with because you allowing it to happen. So I think that was more what Swiss was touching on, that type of thing, more than anything, is that people around him should be more pressing the situation, not just the few people that had to do it, like I'm doing it for my job, doing it because I got love for them and I've been around them, but they scared because they grew up with them in the neighborhood, so they don't want to lose their position, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy, man.
What when was your last encounter with DMX? Like, did you see him recently, like within the, you know?
Before the pandemic, I was supposed to catch up with him when he was in Atlanta, maybe about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 months. He was in Atlanta because they was finishing up. It was All-Star Weekend.
Right.
He was there to do a party,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in Charlotte, so I was supposed to go there to meet him to do an interview for my show, Assorted Flavors. So I was like, hey, I missed the opportunity when he passed. You know, I felt like I should have just went to Atlanta, but I didn't get to see him. But before that, I seen him when he came to Charlotte. He came to Charlotte twice. He did 2 shows right before the pandemic, and I was with him. I hung out with him for a little while. He put me in his truck. He was talking to me for like a half hour, 40 minutes. We reminiscing about Baltimore, New York, about us on the road, incidents, you know what I mean? Like, we get down because, like, it's a lot of good memories with X too. I don't want everybody to think that he just had a drug problem or addiction, you know what I mean?
Right.
Dude, you know, he's like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
When he's having fun, enjoyment, he enjoyed the little things that some of us did when we was younger.
Mm-hmm.
On race cars, like he wanted to go get the cars to race, the little helicopters to fly, the planes. He loved all. You know, that was his getaway, his moment of, you know, just being to himself and doing him.
Right.
And we get to do that. I'm not trying to get a go-kart and do these cars and drive the cars, do all that stuff. I did it already.
Mm-hmm.
Time to have this fun. You know, I don't know, he had a rough life. He had a rough life, man, at the beginning. And you can almost understand and sympathize with him because when he was younger, he didn't have the opportunities or the privilege to do the things that some of the young kids got to do. You know what I'm saying? He was putting it home. Everybody know the stories. You know what I'm saying? He was going through it. You know, he got introduced to drugs at a young age, and he's been in it ever since then. But you got to give him his credit for his work ethic, because at the end of the day, he was a functional person no matter what the situation was. He always functioned and did what he had to do. You know.
Definitely. Yeah, most you know, you learn a lot about someone when, you know, after they pass away. And I always, you know, just for me being in this industry, they always say, you know, give them their flowers while they're alive, and that's what we have to start doing more of when people are here, instead of, you know, people becoming it. I mean, he was a popular person, don't get me wrong, before he passed away, but you know how, like, some people, they don't get the credit that they deserve, and then after they pass away, then that's when you want to shout and praise and, you know, congratulate them for their, you know, philanthropy or just good works in general. So yeah, he most definitely, like you said, you know, did his due diligence in the community. So yeah.
The thing is about that is that he didn't boast about it and brag about it. He just did it.
Just did it.
Like, he'll go and give somebody something or do something for somebody without speaking to it, give it to an organization and do whatever he got to do because he want to do it, but it's not for fame, for
wow. Right.
Didn't do it, did it because that's what he felt like doing at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I wish he had more time to spend with his kids, you know, because when you're on the road and you're doing all this stuff as a celebrity, you don't get the school time, the play time, the time to really, he got 15 kids, so it's hard to raise all of them. They in different houses. You don't see them all the time together. They getting to meet each other for the first time after the passing.
Yeah.
Together. So it's kind of like he didn't get to make that merger, you know, to get them all together and do that big party for the family, like the little union thing. And we got them, like our team, we're gonna try to do what we can to make sure they stick and stay molded together and strong, you know what I'm saying? Because now they're gonna need us more than anything. I'm always available. You know, I know Tashera, I know some of the other people too, but I have more of a relationship with Tashera because she was first before he was popular, and I used to be with him and run with him at certain times, so I always seen her and some of the people I seen on the road, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not putting no names out there because I ain't trying to be in no controversial type stuff. I mean, I'll talk about it as time goes on, but right now, paying homage to Dog and making sure that everybody knows that he's a good brother, man, and he had love for everybody. So it wasn't about he a blood or a Crip or Christian or Muslim or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? He was more so like, if you're a man or you're a woman, I respect you, you respect me. You know what I'm saying? I've got love for you. And he can sense shadiness. You know, that's one thing that I can give. He can sense shadiness, like the way people do business, but sometimes he oversenses it to the fact where it may not be on him, but because he can sense it, he can see, and he'll be uncomfortable with that environment. So the police, come on, let's get up out of here, we'll move on. Or he won't want to talk to the people or deal with that situation like that.
Got you. Well, I mean, just from me talking to you just now, I've learned a lot about, just, how he, his upbringing as far as him being with the Ruff Ryders, is concerned. So, I appreciate you sharing that information with my platform. What's next to come, you think, with the just the whole movement?
So we got a couple of things on the table right now. First thing is Ruff Ryders to the Rescue. So we have chapters across the country, maybe 250, 260 something chapters of Ruff, each state, each city, all across the country. So we started this thing called Ruff Ryders to the Rescue, my brother Y. And it is like a give back, but it's more like helping the younger cats come up in the neighborhood and start growing and being entrepreneurs. You know, trying to start learning how to be self-sufficient, how to get money other than on the negative side, trying to do something to build their character, build them up, and help them and guide them, give them guidance in the communities, because that's what our community needs. Our people is not negative because they want to be negative, but they see it, that's the only route that they see because they don't have nobody showing them how to do it another way.
Right.
Like, why all these other people got stores and restaurants and all this stuff, own buildings, apartments, and houses in our neighborhood, and we paying them, buying food from them, when we can open up our own stores too. Trying to help give them that guidance and the tools. If they need to learn how to do construction, we know people that do construction in whatever field that they comfortable that they want to move towards. We want to help them do that. So that's why we started Ruff Ryders. Next thing is for the younger cats, we want to build another, like we got Ruff Ryders, like another team called Young Riders.
Say that, I'm sorry, say that one more time. It started breaking up.
Young Riders. We're trying to build a team called the Young Riders.
Okay.
You know, that's old enough to probably to represent, get out and do things for the community and do something in the community for the team too, and like mold them in a way like a network across the country. All this will be networking together to help each other, you know. So that's another thing. We got a bunch, there's a lot going on. You can go to ruffryders.com and pull it up, and you can see all of the stuff that we got coming up. We got X's album that's going to come out soon because he did finish his album. We got that. We got a thing called Ride for Life. So all of our riders once a month is going to do a ride for life. That means all over the country, we're going to get them to do a certain cause, like if it's for cancer or for a situation, anything that comes to the table, we're going to use that as a platform for us to do a ride for life. You know, somebody promoting the product, we're going to do the ride for life for this, but it's got to be something in the positive nature.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's some. All of that is great, and I'm anticipating the new, you know, his new album. That's gonna be a classic. You know, that's most definitely gonna be a classic. I'm gonna make sure I get that one, because I know that's gonna be a classic. Once again, leave the website for people that are interested in, you know, joining the movement.
Yeah, if you want to join the movement, Ruff Ryders to the rescue. If you want to get involved with the young riders, you can go on to ruffryders.com, RUFFRYDERS.com. You can go a bunch of different screens. You can go into wherever area that you want to join. If you want to join the young riders, if you want to get a part of Ruff Ryders to the rescue, you can go on there. If you want to check out the radio show, which I'm getting ready for now, I do a show on Ruff Ryders Radio. So you go to ruffrydersradio.com.
Okay.
And I'm on there from 8 to 10 on Saturdays. And I'm also on there on Thursdays from 10 to midnight.
Okay.
So I do R&B, hip hop. I do old school. I'm official old school. Come from the beginning of hip hop. I grew up with Kool Herc. So if anybody know hip hop, they know him. He's the father of hip hop. He birthed it. And I know the music, and I go back, you know, so that's what I do. And I got the name of my show is Assorted Flavors.
Okay.
Check me radio as Assorted Flavors. You can catch me on my IG as The Real Podine, or you can catch me on Facebook Live, or you can catch me on Facebook as Podine. And that's what it is, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Check me out. And I salute everybody that salute me. And much love to everybody that's trying to be somebody, because that's what we're trying to do in this world. Let's not sit around and be stagnated. Let's try to be somebody in a positive way.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, I'm searching the page right now on social media, and I will be following. So, you know, when I follow me back, hip hop
Right.
_ LLC.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
Definitely. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you. You left everything. You left your social media, the website, any other ways that you can be reached. I believe you left everything. So
yeah. My email is m5mfivepr@yahoo.com. If you want to do some business, if you need somebody to you got an artist that you're trying to break, or anything that have to do, if you need a road manager, I'm still available to do some of that stuff. Hit me on my, let me let you know, I'm running around still, you know, and
that's how you do it.
Basically, I'm not limited to nothing. I got a bunch of different things, so I wear a lot. So if you need some consulting, hit me up, and I'll try to give you the best advice you can get.
There it is. There it is.